Hello, everyone. I went a little crazy in March and I bought a huge amount of books. Many of these were purchased used, some were purchased new, some I received from publishers, but it is an absolutely massive haul. And one of the reasons for that is really the news and what's been going on in the United States over the last month. And I guess I've just been stockpiling political science books, anything that can help me understand what's going on. And of course, feel-good books that I'm hoping will cheer me up and maybe take my mind off of things. So I'm going to get started. I'll do the new books first, and also the ARCs. I'll do the ARCs first. So these are the books I received from, these are all books I received from Goodreads. Counting Backwards by Jacqueline Friedland. I don't know anything about it, but it's a cute little cover. Fiction, Routine Immigration Case, A Shocking Legacy. Jessa Gindley's quest for justice draws her into the heart of an abhorrent conspiracy. She uncovers her personal ties to a heartbreaking past. Her life takes a dramatic turn. It's an emotionally riveting novel inspired by true events. Okay, it sounds really good. I'm looking forward to this one. This Is Not a Ghost Story by Marie. Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter's dazzling satirical adult debut tells the story of a black man who walks into the light and becomes an instant celebrity for being the first visible and verifiable ghost. That sounds very interesting to me. So thank you to Goodreads. Fair Play. This looks like a detective, a wonderfully original genre-breaking literary debut from Ireland that's an homage to the brilliant detective novels of the earliest 20th century. A twisty, modern murder mystery and a searing exploration of grief and loss. Again, sounds very interesting to me. And then Get on the Job and Organize. This is nonfiction by Jazz Brissac. Standing Up for a Better Workplace and a Better World. That sounds like a fun book about making things happen, improving things. Hopefully, so leaders of Starbucks and Tesla. Oh, okay, that's very relevant. Okay, so I'm looking forward to this one. We'll see, especially with everything about Tesla. Okay, and then here are the books that I decided I absolutely had to have, so I bought them new. Why We're Polarized by Ezra Klein. Our country, the United States, has a horrifying polarization problem, which I believe is causing a lot of the problems we are dealing with right now. So this is something I really want to read, especially with having so many friends and family members on both sides of the political spectrum. I think I really need to get good at talking to both sides. And really the best thing we can do right now is getting people to talk to each other and discuss things in a positive and productive manner instead of hating each other and isolating themselves to their own little news sources that completely contradict each other. So I'm looking forward to that one. I got Stephen King's, this is book 2 of Dark Tower. I read the first book, I think it was beginning of the year in January. I liked it, but I heard this one is so much better. So I got it for myself. Another Ursula K. Le Guin, The Lathe of Heaven. I've only read one Ursula K. Le Guin novel. I think that was The Heron, something about the Heron. I did not care for it, but she keeps coming up as one of the best sci-fi authors, so I keep hoarding her books, and this is such a pretty cover. So I'm looking forward to that. That's a really quick read. How America Works and Why It Doesn't. Another book to help me understand democracy. I actually do have a degree in political science. I have a degree, I have a law degree and a master's in taxation. And so I am very interested in everything that's going on right now. And I've been reading books on political science for the last 3 months just to start to understand what's going on and how to maybe fix it. Not that I'm going to have the solution, but at least that's how I can feel better about myself in the news. So I'm looking forward to How America Works and Why It Doesn't. Another book I really, really wanted for a long time was Night Watch by Terry Pratchett. This is supposed to be the best book by Terry Pratchett and one of the best sci-fi books and fantasy books of all time. So really looking forward to that to cheer me up. Another Kurt Vonnegut book, God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater, was recommended by a YouTuber I respect, so I grabbed it. Autocracy Inc. I already started this one. I just read Anne Applebaum's other book that she wrote previous to that. That one was what what was it called? The Twilight of Democracy. I've read that one twice, and it was very relevant, so I couldn't wait to get my hands on Autocracy Inc., so that's why I had to purchase this one. I got Mickey 7 because my husband went and saw this movie in theaters, and he said I would enjoy it. Really looking forward to that. I'm not a big fan of movies, but I prefer the books. And then, of course, I absolutely had to grab this, The Folly of Realism, How the West Deceived Itself About Russia and Betrayed Ukraine by Alexander Vidman. This was highly recommended, extremely well rated, so I absolutely had to get my hands on this book. And Alexei Navalny's Patriot, a memoir, again, had to get my hands on this book. I had a massive fight with someone about Russia and Ukraine recently, and this person actually called Alexei Navalny a traitor to Russia, which was very upsetting to me. So I immediately bought this book right after the argument. And another reason why I need to read Why We're Polarized, because I keep getting into these spats. Okay, so these books are books I got from thrift stores. I'll just start here. This is Kantika. This is something that was on my wish list, and I found it at a thrift store for $1. Not really sure what it's about, and the jacket's not really giving me any clues, but it seems like a really good novel. It is a kaleidoscopic portrait of one family's displacement across four countries. Follow the joys and losses of Rebecca Cohen. Istanbul. Collapse of the Ottoman Empire. Refuge in Barcelona. Yeah, it sounds like a family journey book, which I'm really looking forward to. This is book 5 of the Expanse series. I have not started the Expanse series, but I guess I've been collecting the books, and I now have 1, 2, 3, and 5. So I'm missing 4. Everyone I talk to about this book says I'm going to love it, love the series, so I've just been collecting the books. My Heart is a Chainsaw. This was recommended by somebody on YouTube, and it was on my wish list, and then I found it at a thrift store for $1, and I think this is a horror, so it sounds like fun. This book's been on my wish list for a long time, and I got it for $1.50, and it's all about dark matter and dark energy, and I used to be almost entirely a physics and science reader, and then I switched over to fiction and history, so I really want to get back to science because I actually felt really happy reading books on science, and I just haven't been doing that, so it's a cute little teeny tiny little book. Looks like fun. Assassin's Apprentice. Again, Robin Hobb was recommended to me on YouTube, and so I grabbed this book. This is fantasy, and I'm not really a fantasy reader, but I'd like to be. I'd like to figure out fantasy. This is The Stoneyard Devotional by Charlotte Wood. This was one of the books that was nominated for the Booker Prize last year, and I am trying to read them. I've read some of them, and I'd like to read the rest of them, but this one was, again, at a thrift store for $1, and it's brand new, and so I grabbed it. This looks really good. The Plot Whisperers Workbook, step-by-step exercises to help create compelling stories. Writing is something that is still on my bucket list for my life before I die, so I am, I guess, gearing up to become a writer at some point. I'm not sure when, I'll let you know, but this looks like a really good book. For now, I guess I'm just hoarding books. The big book of words you should know. This is going to go in my massive collection of books on words that I should know. This is Spineless, The Science of Jellyfish and the Art of Growing a Backbone. Okay, honestly, I bought the book because it was just the most beautiful cover I've ever seen, and jellyfish are very, very interesting. It's a science book, so that's why I bought it. The Power of Different, The Link Between Disorder and Genius. I find this very interesting. Our family has a lot of interesting disorders and also has developed a lot of interesting skills. So I'm really looking forward to reading this and getting some more insight on how having learning disabilities, autism, ADHD, and other disorders links to genius abilities. Very fascinating subject. Picasso's War. I think this is a new release, How Modern Art Came to America. This has been on my radar for a while, so got it for $2.50. And then had to grab this, Test Your Cultural IQ, Literacy IQ. This looked like so much fun, so wanted to try that. Winners Take All, The Elite Charade of Changing the World. This book, I had the audiobook out from the library and was starting, so it was fun to find the the book, the actual book. So this way I can underline and take notes. But this is really about what's going on in the United States right now. So yay. The Numbers Don't Lie by Vikal Semil. This is the third book I bought by this author. I have not read any of them yet, but this one was well rated, so I'm looking forward to that. Heavy. This was one of the best books of the 21st century, and so I'm not entirely excited about the plot. It looks very heavy, but I've been collecting the books that were listed on the New York Times 20 best books of the 21st century list, so I have another one, which I think I got for $1.50, so that's not bad. Democracy or Else. This looks like a joke book, but it was written by Jon Favreau, John Lovett, and Tommy Vitor, who I believe some of those people were Barack Obama's advisors and speechwriters. So I wanted to grab it. It's a really quick little fun looking book. So I don't know if it's going to be good, but we gotta save America. The Deficit Myth, Modern Monetary Theory and the Birth of the People's Economy. Very interesting. I'd like to know more about economic theories, especially with the trade tariffs that are coming into place as an economic theory, and how the American deficit, is being used as an explanation for that. So this book seemed very, very relevant at the time when I was looking at books, and I was like, I have to figure this out. Argo. I just finished Rachel Maddow's book called Drift, which was all about war, and this goes into detail about the Iranian hostages. So I needed that. Katie Couric's Going There. The plot sounded very interesting to me. Mercury, an intimate biography of Freddie Mercury. I am a huge Queen fan, so I had to grab this one, and this one was very well rated, unlike some of the other books on Queen that I have purchased and read. So I already started this one. Orbital. This is actually the book that won the Booker Prize in 2024, last year. I did listen to the audiobook. I did not like it at all. I thought it was nonsense, really. But I bought the book. I'm gonna try again. I feel like in this case, maybe I'm just wrong. I need to do a deeper read. So I want to try to give this book another chance because it did win the Booker Prize last year. And even though on first read I hated it, I'd like to try again. I got Democracy Awakening by Heather Cox Richardson. I did read this book 2 years ago when it first came out, and I thought it was okay, but I want to read it again. I got Arthur C. Clarke's Prelude to Mars, classic sci-fi. So that's exciting. I got Steven Pinker's The Stuff of Thought, Language as a Window into Human Nature. It sounded very interesting to me. I got Evolution for Everyone, How Darwin's Theory Can Change the Way We Think About Our Lives. Again, I have not done any reading on evolution, or really I'm not that good at biology, so that's just a subject that I aspire to be good at. I got Isaac Asimov's Book of Facts, mostly because of Isaac Asimov's name on it, and it was well rated, so that's a fun book that I will probably take a while to read. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I'm not a big fan of Emily Henry. I've only read Beach Read. I think it was Beach Read. I think, yeah. I did not like it at all. I thought it was boring and not very romantic and annoying. But I want to give her another shot. So I know everybody loves Emily Henry, and I want to see if I can maybe read more of her books to calm down and relax and have some fun. So let's try again with The People We Meet on Vacation. Killing Yourself to Live. This is by Chuck Klosterman, and I read his other book, Sex, Drugs, and Cocoa Puffs, and it was okay, but his book on the 90s was amazing, so another one to try to see if I like it. This is Xenogenesis by Octavia E. Butler. This is a sci-fi classic, extremely well rated, so I'm looking forward to that. This is one of the few Elizabeth Strout books I've never read, Abide With Me. Yeah, these are one of her older books that I started reading her more recently, so that's a good addition. Founder Side. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this book. I've read some reviews that are awful and others that are amazing, but this is sci-fi. No, it's not. It is fantasy, right? Yeah. Anyway, I got the wager. Supposed to be incredible. Everyone says it's such a great book, so I got it. Oh, and it's by the author of The Killers of the Flower Moon. I love that book. I read that last year. Highly recommend that one. So another book by that author. I got Unsettled, What Climate Science Tells Us and What It Doesn't and Why It Matters. Another book on climate science. And this guy, Stephen E. Koonin, was the former Undersecretary for Science under Barack Obama. So I'll just stick that on the pile of climate science books that I have not read. The Happiness Hypothesis by Jonathan Haidt. I feel like I've been acquiring a lot of books by Jonathan Haidt. I think this is like the third one in the last 2 months. So that looked interesting. I'm always trying to understand happiness a little better and figure out the theory and idea. So maybe one day I can apply it to my own life. Carl Sagan's The Demon Hunted World. I've wanted this book for a long time, and this copy was really nice. Well, I mean, it wasn't that nice, but it's very clean and looks unused. So excited to read this one. A Barbara Ehrenich. Okay, I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce her name. I did just read Nickel and Dimed, which is her famous book, and it was amazing. So I grabbed Bright-Sided, How the Relentless Promotion of Positive Thinking Has Undermined America. So really like this author whose name I can't pronounce. I actually wrote a law review article when I was in law school based on Nickel and Dimed. And I was analyzing Barack Obama's Recovery and Recovery Act that he put into place when he became president. So I kind of used Nickel and Dimed as the opening introduction of my paper. So it's very fascinating. Recovery and Reconstruction Act. I think that's what it was called. So long ago. Such a different world now. Broken Government, How Republican Rule Destroyed the Legislative, Executive, and Judicial Branches. Wow, when did this book come out? This book came out in 2007. Wow, that's old. Very interesting. Sweet Taste of Liberty, A True Story of Slavery and Restitution in America. This won the Pulitzer Prize, and that's really the only reason I bought it. It is so heavy. This book is, I don't understand how this tiny little book is so heavy. This is one of the heaviest books. My gosh. Okay. And then finally, Perilous Partners, The Benefits and Pitfalls of America's Alliances with Authoritarian Regimes. This book was just way too relevant to not pick up when I was shopping. So looking forward to that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and sorry about all the political rants, but I have just been losing it the last couple months, just glued to the news, reading political books, getting more and more upset. But I want to get more empowered. I want to understand. I want to start thinking about things and maybe start writing, maybe start actually using my political science degree to, I don't know, do something. We got to do something. Anyway, thank you for watching.